If everybody's situated at this time, we're take questions for our student athletes. Please raise your hand. We'll have a microphone holder get to you. And if they ask a general question, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Kadeem and work our way down. So go ahead on the aisle here.
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Guys, you're coming off this win you've probably been waiting so long for. How do you now refocus and play one of the best teams in the country?
Start with Kadeem, work our way down.
Yeah, I think we got a good one yesterday, but we got over it, and we just focus on playing a good game tomorrow and focus on getting a W.
Yeah, I agree with Kadeem. Just gotta watch film, study their plays and what the team does, and just be mentally prepared for the crowd and everything.
Yeah, Ish said it best. Just be mentally prepared about going into tomorrow's game. We're going up against a great team, and we match up well with them. But obviously, that's a great team. We're looking forward to just getting a great W.
Yeah, like the guys say, I think we match with them really good. So it's going to be a good game, and we just got to play hard because it's one of the best teams in the country right now.
Okay, we're staying in the second row on the right. Go ahead.
Hey guys, Jerry Carino, Gannett, New Jersey. For all four of you, what do you like most about Kevin as a coach, and how has he grown over time in that role?
Start with Kadeem.
I think he's a player's coach. Like he kind of asks us like what we like, opposed to just making us do something. He kind of get everybody input. So I think that's the best thing about him.
I love Coach's fire and passion for the game. He makes sure he instills that into us, and it carries over onto the court.
Yeah, Coach is a person that you could always go to and talk to, and he'll understand anything you'll say to him, and he'll make adjustments. And just having a person like that is great to play for. Excited that I'm playing for Coach. For this 4 years, we came together, and we didn't break apart, and we've been together for 4 years, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, like the guys said, this coach is one of the it's like my father. He always been there for me and for all these guys, and we cannot be thankful. I will not change him for anything, any coach in the country.
Stay in the aisle there. Go ahead.
Guys, when you came aboard 4 years ago, Coach's job was kind of tenuous. He hadn't kind of started winning yet. Has he ever talked to you guys about maybe in a way you almost saved his career at Seton Hall?
Nah, we never had that conversation. I think we did a great job, but I also think Coach did a great job too, sticking with us and just believing in us. And it's a team thing. It's not just one person thing.
Coach put us in this position to be successful, so he saved his own job by putting us in a position to be, successful. Without him, we wouldn't be as good as we are now. So,
Yeah, definitely. We just stuck by his side. He stuck by our side. He told us to trust him after freshman year, and sophomore year we've been successful since. So, a person like that is always good to take in and listen to. He knows a lot about the game, and when he told us to trust him, we did that, and we've been happy since.
I think we got to appreciate Coach everything he did for us, except what we did for him, because none of us was expecting to be this type of player our senior year, so we just got to be thankful for him and said that he'd be thankful of us.
Stay in the second row there.
This question's for Angel. I just asked 6 Kansas players what their thoughts were on Seton Hall, and they all started their answer with Angel Delgado. When you hear that, what do you expect from them tomorrow?
They're going to come really aggressive because I'm an aggressive player, but I just love how I don't like playing with guys that is soft. This team got a lot of big guys, a lot of guys they can play really good. They got great players, so I'm just really happy to play with a team like that and great players like that, great coach.
Other questions for our student athletes? Okay, we're going to go in the front, and then we'll get back to you in the second row. Front right side, guys.
Tom Keegan, Lawrence Journal World. Kadeem, a lot of great basketball players come from Brooklyn. Is there any common thread with basketball players from Brooklyn? And also, did you play more indoors or on the playgrounds growing up in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I think it's a common thread. I think most guards from Brooklyn is real tough. You know, we grew up playing outside. Yeah, I definitely played more outside than inside growing up, you know, playing in the parks and things like that. So, yeah, more outside than inside.
We're going to stay in the second row on the aisle here, then we'll come right to you, sir.
You guys are 4.5-point underdogs. A lot of people expect Kansas to win. They're at home. They're going to have probably about 95% of the crowd. Tell me why you guys are going to advance and why you can pull this upset.
Kadeem?
Just staying focused. You know, we know we're playing against them. We're playing against their fans. But I think if we block them out and just focus on our game plan, that we could do something special.
Ish.
Can't get caught up in the numbers. I'm pretty sure a lot of people had North Carolina State winning too. We just have to focus on the game plan and, you know, execute.
Desi?
Yeah, we play in the Big East Conference, so, you know, we just approaching this game as any other. You know, we play against great teams all year, so I think we prepared for that type of crowd and the atmosphere. But we're excited, and our mindset got to be to go in and win. Just not to, you know, we playing a great team, but if we go in with our focus and play our basketball, Seton Hall basketball, I think we'll be in great shape to win.
Like Desi said, we play in the Big East. When you play in the Big East, you always expect the big things when you go to somebody else's court. So I'm thinking we're kind of used to that. We've been playing for all 4 years and great teams, so I think we're ready for the battle.
Okay, we're going across the aisle, and then we'll get you in the front row next.
For all of you guys, rebounding isn't one of KU's strengths, and obviously it is one of yours, not just rebounding, but you're all big and physical. Can you just talk about using your big build, physical play to be able to gain an advantage off the glass?
Start with Kadeem first.
Well, we got the best rebound in college basketball, but everybody knows that, so a lot of guys try to throw a lot of players at them, and that forces us to rebound. And I think when the guards rebound, we could push and get easy buckets, so I think that would be a big thing tomorrow.
Yeah, Angel gets a lot of attention because obviously he's the best rebounder in college basketball, so that actually makes it easier for us to come in and rebound. So, because teams are sending like 3-4 guys at him and leave us open, so, you know, we just pick up the scraps.
Yeah, I know Coach, you know, been screaming at me a lot all season just to help Angel rebound the ball, but, you know, when you got him on your team, rebound the ball, you don't want to go in there and rebound, just let him get it all. So, you know, Coach, I know Coach's going to dwell on me getting in and helping him. And he said when I rebound, you know, when we get out and push, you know, we find open shots for like Kadeem and Miles like that. So, you know, that's my focus, going to help Angel rebound today, tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good going against these guys. But when these guys rebound like we did yesterday, we played good. Kadeem got a lot of rebounds. Desi each got 10 rebounds. He was great because they were sending 2 guys to box me out. So every time these guys rebounds, we play great. So if everybody in the team rebound, I think we got a great chance to win the game.
Ryan Haney, Jayhawk Network. Guys, you touched on how battle-tested you are playing in the Big East, 4 games against 1 seeds already. How does this challenge with Kansas compare to taking on a Xavier or a Villanova? And then for each of you, what concerns you the most about Kansas?
Yeah, we played Xavier twice. We played Nova twice. Those are 2 great teams. Repeat the question again? I forgot, bro.
It was a long question, wasn't it? How does the challenge compare to taking on other 1 seeds? And specific to Kansas, what concerns you?
I think with Kansas, you just got to limit Graham, and that's on me because I'm starting on him tomorrow. So just limit his shots, make everything hard for him because everything goes through him. So I think if you cut off the head of the snake, you know, it's going to be hard for them to do a lot of things.
Like most 1 seeds, they never beat themselves, so you got to force them into making turnovers and messing up. So that's what our focus is going to have to be. We know they're going to run their offense sharp. They're going to be crisp, and, you know, we just got to get them out their rhythm, not let them run their stuff.
Yeah, I think if we contain the ball, I know their guard play is real tough. We've seen teams like that in the Big East. Like I said, every night in the Big East, you're going to see a different team. Guards play 4 guards out. But I think it's just our focus just to go in there and defend. I think if we make them uncomfortable. I think we get him out the offense. Like Kadeem said, slow down Graham because all the offense run through him. I think we will be good.
Yeah, I think we got to stop. Like, everything the guys say is great, but we got to stop people in transition till they get a lot of threes in transition. If we play good transition defense, I think we're going to be able to give them a hard time tomorrow.
Okay, in the second row on the right side.
This is for Kadeem. To use a New York analogy, Kansas basketball out here is like the New York Yankees in New York. What kind of atmosphere do you expect in this arena tomorrow?
I expect it to be real loud. The fans going to be into it. Their team is going to be into it, but we're going to be into it also. So I expect a great atmosphere tomorrow. It's going to be a fun game.
Stay in the second row on the aisle. You had a question?
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Graham is obviously one of the best players in the country. He's a Naismith finalist. What kind of challenge is it for you? I mean, you obviously faced Jalen Brunson. You faced some of the best point guards in the country. What do you think it's going to be like facing him, and how excited are you about this challenge? You're going to obviously be prime time. Everyone's going to be watching.
I mean, I'm really excited. Like you said, he's a great guard, but I also faced great guards all year. We got Brunson in the Big East. We got the guards from Marquette, Cartwright from Providence. So, it's just another test for me and also for my guys. So I'm excited for the matchup.
Still have 5 minutes. We're going to stay on the right side and right there, and then we'll go to you in front, sir.
It's a question for Angel. David Walsh with ESPN International. We're going to be showing the game tomorrow night in República Dominicana. So I'd like to ask you if you could answer in Spanish, please. Un mensaje para el público dominicano de cara al partido de mañana. Un message for the Dominican people who are going to be watching tomorrow night, the importance of the game.
I got to respond to you in Spanish.
En español, por favor.
Oh, that's me. It's the first time they asked me that. Sí, creo que estoy muy emocionado por eso, tener la oportunidad de tener esa oportunidad de salir en ESPN Internacional, que fue uno de mis sueños, que así fue que yo me crié viendo ese tipo de canal así, porque nosotros no teníamos el de aquí. Pero estoy muy emocionante que representar a los latinos, representar a las personas que siempre me están apoyando en muchos países.
Yeah, can we first have Angel transcribe that for our transcribers in English?
You translate? Oh, I got to say it in English now?
Want to set the record straight.
Now, I'm really excited to be part of ESPN International because that's what I grew up doing. I grew up watching too. And it's really excited to see my family be able to see me clear. And I'm just ready for the battle and representing every Latino out there.
Okay, you can follow up now. I apologize.
So you come from a country that's just crazy about baseball, but basketball is growing. Al Horford, for example. En español, ¿cómo está creciendo el baloncesto en tu país? ¿Y qué representas tú en ese crecimiento?
Está creciendo mucho. Estoy muy feliz por cómo el baloncesto en mi país está creciendo, porque nada más se hablaba de pelota, el béisbol, pero ahora se está hablando mucho del baloncesto porque tenemos muchos jugadores en la NBA y eso son una cosa que nos da mucha oportunidad y un sueño por qué cumplir. Now in English?
¿Cómo se dice en inglés?
Sí. I'm really excited for how much the basketball in my country is growing, because before we only talk about baseball every single day. Nobody talk about basketball. Now a lot of guys from the DR come in here and have the opportunity to play in this type of level of basketball. Got really chance to make the NBA, and I'm really happy to see how the basketball is growing in my country.
Thank you. Okay, second row on the aisle here.
Guys, everyone back home is pretty excited about what you guys did the other night, but the question I'm getting from fans and people is, can they do it again? Can they knock off Kansas? Could you each tell me why you think you can win this game and move on to the Sweet 16?
Yeah, like I said before, I think if we stay focused, if we play our brand of basketball, box out, get rebounds, run outs, and also kind of contain them, I think we can get the W.
And it's March. This is what March is all about. Upsets, great basketball and all that type of stuff. We're a veteran team and we're facing another good team. We're just going to come out here and compete and battle. And I feel like if we give it our all, we could come out there and beat them.
Yeah, just like it said, it's March. Anything can happen, but if you've been watching Seton Hall basketball all year, I feel like we got better as a team. We came closer. We practiced a lot. We pushed each other to get better. And as the year's been going on, we've been getting better as a team, winning games. I know I've been out for a few games, but I'm getting back in the rotation slowly, and I'm happy for that. And I'm ready to take on this challenge.
Yeah, it's two great teams playing basketball. It's not about who is better and who's not better. It's all about who will win in the last minute, who will win the game. So we just got to go and play hard, give it all, and leave everything on the floor, because at this time of year we don't have nothing to lose. You lose, you go home.
Time for one more question. Go up front here. Our final question.
Angel, you mentioned you thought you match up well with Kansas. What specifically is it, do you think, that it makes it a good matchup for Seton Hall?
Yeah, they're physical. They're a physical team. I watch a lot of film, and they're a physical team, and that's something that is really important. So that's how we play. That's how we like to play. So that's why I say it's going to be a great matchup.
Any other interview requests throughout the tournament? We have Thomas Chen, their basketball SID from Seton Hall here. Thank you very much, guys. And again, the Seton Hall locker room is still open. We'll have Coach Willard up here shortly. Yep. Thank you. What's that? Oh, thank you. That's for the blooper reel. Okay, we're ready to begin our session with Seton Hall coach Kevin Willard. Coach, let's get your assessment of the challenges that Kansas presents to your team.
Yes, there's a lot of challenges. They're extremely impressive. They're balanced. Devontae Graham is as good as any guard I've seen in college basketball. Reminds me a lot of what Jalen Brunson does for Villanova. You know, kind of can score the ball any time, runs the team extremely well. They're excellent in transition. And I think what I'm most impressed about is if you stop them in transition, how good they are in the half court executing. an extremely tough style. So big challenge, but obviously excited to still be playing.
At this time, we'll take questions on the aisle here on the right side. There you go, sir.
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Kevin, you know, I guess the narrative is when these seniors came 4 years ago, they kind of helped you save your job at Seton Hall. You hadn't won yet, and there was talk of how long could you last. I asked Ish about that, and he said Coach saved his own job because he put them in a position to be successful. Just what your response to that?
I think players always save coaches' jobs, don't they? You have good players that win games, and you know, I think this group, I challenge this group as freshmen to become better as players, to become better as a team, and I think that's something that, you know, I've learned is you get the right type of kids who want to work, you can be successful. And these guys I've said it 8 million times, they've worked so hard. You know, success was going to happen just because of how hard they worked.
Got a follow-up there?
He always does. He always has a follow-up.
Do you feel like that 2014 class just kind of, how much do you think that getting those guys and what's happened here has changed things for you?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was a huge class. I mean, and I think the biggest thing was it was a great mix of, obviously Isaiah was extremely talented. Ish was our guy that was going to be our defensive guy. Angel was going to be the rebounder. I think the biggest piece, though, was probably Kadeen, you know, because everybody talked about Kadeen, but everyone kind of said he was coming in a little bit over his head. And he wasn't good enough. And I think the way he developed his freshman year and really his sophomore year, he had such a huge year his sophomore year. The way he transformed into such a good player, I think he was a huge piece of what happened with that 2014 class. Should make his mom happy.
Coach, rebounding has not been one of KU's strengths, something you do very well, and when Kansas has been beaten, they've allowed a lot of offensive rebounds, something you do well. Can you talk about taking advantage of that matchup?
Yeah, I think that's something you got to balance with Kansas. Because they're so good in transition, it's something that one of our philosophies is the best transition defense is the offensive rebound, because if you can get second chance points, it stops teams from leaking out a little bit. It puts a little bit more pressure on them staying in and not getting out so quick. But you still, with Kansas, you really got to be careful of sending 3 guys to the glass just because of how good Newman gets out, how good Devontae is going. And again, I love, it's not like I don't know his name, but I love number 10. He's phenomenal. I just can't say his name. I have a player I can't say his name either, so I don't want him to think I'm not trying to. I don't know. I can't say Sandro's last name. So, but I think he is. You have Newman, you have number 10, and you have Devontae Graham out there. You got to be really careful getting back in transition because they can put up a lot of points quickly if you're sending too many guys to the glass. We're still going to go. It's just how we play.
Back to the aisle.
He never stops.
Kevin, Kadeen wears 0 for a reason. He says because people have always doubted him. How big of a motivational thing will this be for him Saturday, going up against one of the best players in the country? You know, he's played great players before, but he'll be the other guy there. You know, Eric Graham's a Naismith finalist. What do you expect out of Kadeen in that matchup, and how excited are you for him to get that kind of challenge?
Yeah, I think he's answered the bell really well. He's played well against Jalen. He's one of those kids, because of his personality, it doesn't seem like he gets pumped up for games. He doesn't seem like he gets. He's not our rah-rah type kid. He's Mr. Smooth, but deep down he understands the challenge. He'll be ready for the challenge, and I look forward to it. I think it's going to be a great matchup between those two.
Okay, staying on the right side.
Coach, going up against like one of the blue bloods in college basketball tomorrow, how would you describe like the mood around the team? Is it excitement? Is it nervousness? How would you describe the mood around the team?
Well, right now they're not happy with me, so I would say they're a little grumpy. I would expect by tomorrow they'll be excited, just for the fact that we could be playing anybody. I think they're excited about still playing. You know, again, this is for the senior class. Every game could be their last game. So obviously playing against one of the great traditions in Kansas, one of the probably the all-time best college basketball coaches that will go down in Bill Self. I think that in itself is really exciting. I think playing in Wichita in Kansas gives a great challenge. I think the people here have been phenomenal in Wichita. I think the fans have been great. So I think you throw all the factors in. I think by the time they get over being mad at me, they're going to be really excited about playing Kansas.
Other questions for the coach?
He's going to ask another one. He's got my cell number. He can call me anytime he wants.
Why are they mad at you?
I woke him up a little bit early. We've already had a walkthrough. We've already had 2 film sessions. So they're a little grumpy at the fact that I usually have to feed them before I do something, and so if I do something before I feed them, then I get a grumpy older group. So I woke them up early. We had a walkthrough in the hotel. We watched film. We ate breakfast. We watched film and had another walkthrough, and now we're at practice. So hopefully, if I get them a good meal tonight, I'll get them back on my good side. It's always a balancing act, just like dealing with Zach. Even my guy here is like, he's asking another question.
He has a passion.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you have a question here? Yeah, Joe.
Hi. Sorry I'm late. Kevin, how important is Ish to this team, and how much do you think maybe other teams, does he fall in the cracks in other teams' game planning because of the other more well-known weapons that you have?
Yeah, I mean, it really didn't get talked about that much last night, how well he played. When I went back and watched the film, he obviously, everyone looked at his points. He hit a 3, he had some great putbacks, but he really did a great job in the second half of helping on pick and roll defense, switching out. He's one of those guys that in 5 or 6 years you're going to see probably playing in the NBA as a guy, because he's 6'8", he can defend every position. He's going to get better offensively. He's a hard worker. He's a terrific kid. He falls through the cracks because he doesn't do anything fancy. There's nothing flashy about his game. You know, he's one of those, I call him old school Charles Oakley type players. He's just one of those guys that just shows up every day, works really hard, plays as hard as anybody out there. You know, of all the guys, I'm gonna miss all these guys, but next year, game planning without him, it's, today I said, Ish, you're gonna guard him. Ish, you're gonna guard Devontae. You're gonna guard number 10. I said, when you switch out on him, it's such a luxury to have a guy that can guard 4 positions. It's something that's, I think I've taken for granted at times, and I know that probably other teams just don't game plan for him because we don't run stuff for him. But defensively, he is a difference maker.
Sorry if this ground was covered, but Kevin, on a personal note, how have you grown as a coach in the 4 years that you've had these guys?
Oh, man. I think the biggest thing that, I've probably mellowed out tremendously. I think I've come to realize when you have a group and you put a group together and you enjoy being around them and they work hard to kind of let them be them and not so much impose my will. I've kind of let these guys' personalities and their work ethic kind of form their own identity for this team. And instead of me trying to be, well, this is how we're going to be, I think the biggest difference, what I've learned is, no, I'm going to let them be them, and I need to adapt to how they want to be a little bit. They're still in my framework. They're still in what I want to do offensively and defensively, but from a standpoint of who we are and what we are, it's much more their personality than it is mine. I've kind of sat back and let them grow as men and grow as a team, because I think it's been very important to let them take ownership in this program. And I think that's something that I've really focused on, is letting them take ownership in the program and letting them kind of be the ones who are leading.
Zach Frazilla, New York Post. Kevin, the waking up early, getting all this film session done, is it kind of you want to send a message to them just how big of an opportunity this is they have in front of them? And, you know, Seton Hall hasn't made the Sweet 16 since 2000. You know, you have the #1 seed. It's a huge national game. I mean, what this win would mean?
No, I think the biggest thing is, because we're doing the same thing we did when we won the Big East Championship and last year in the Big East tournament. I'm trying to get them back in that mode because like I said, even though the Butler loss really hurt, it kind of helped us get healthy a little bit and kind of helped us get re-energized and refocused. So I'm trying to just get them back into that quick turnaround mode because preparation is really important for us. It's something I believe in tremendously in putting in the work and scouting and being prepared. And when you're playing as good a basketball team as you are in Kansas, you need to do all the little extra things to try to give yourself a chance to win. You just can't treat it like you're playing any other team. They're just too good. They're too well coached. They have too good of players. So for me, it's getting them back in that mode that you're playing arguably the best team in the country, and that you got to put your work in, and you got to put a lot of work in to give yourself the best chance to win. I mean, I didn't think it was that early. We did 9 a.m. But for Angel, I mean, that might as well have been like 6:30. I mean, you know, the big fella needs his sleep.
Okay, left side, front row. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Brian Haney, Jayhawk Network. Can you speak to the unique challenge of prepping for Kansas while not knowing how much or how effective Udoka Azubuike will be able to play? And if he is able to be turned loose, what do you anticipate with him and Angel?
Yeah, it's amazing, you know, when he's not in there, how well they space you out, how much they drive, kick, rely on the three-point shot. And then when he comes in the game, you know, Bill goes to the high-low package. I mean, it's almost automatic. And he is, you know, obviously he's not moving great laterally, but he's moving pretty good up and down. But he is a monster of a man, and they do a great job of working their high-low package when he's in the game. So it's amazing. They play such a different style when he's in the game than when he's out of the game. So I think it's, you know, obviously we're preparing more for when he's out because I don't know how much he's going to be able to play. But we're also getting ready for the fact that if he does play 10 to 15 minutes, that's a huge 10 to 15 minutes because they can really go inside when he's in the game.
Okay, you got less than 5 minutes. It's time for a couple more questions. Everybody okay? On the left side, sorry, didn't see you. Go ahead.
Coach, the Big East and the Big 12 both have reason to believe maybe the best conferences in college basketball this year.
I would agree with that.
Can you talk about the style, how much different it is, and then how much conference pride? I know the two conferences match up tonight, but you know, how much is that a part of this as well?
Yeah, the Big 12 has 10 teams, correct? Yeah. We have 10 teams. We each play a true round robin, and it makes for equal scheduling. So no one could say, hey, well, I got to play the 4 worst teams. I only played the 2 best teams, and which happens in the Big Ten. It happens in the ACC a lot. We played Texas Tech this year in the Garden, and I remember walking away saying, man, anybody that's got to play those guys twice, good luck to them. I think when you play an equal schedule and you have as good of coaches and good as players as you do in the Big 12 and the Big East, you really get a true effect of who you are and what you are, and you beat up on each other. And I think Texas Tech ended up 11-7 in the Big 12. If I'm not, I think I'm somewhere. And you know, they had a shot to win the Big 12. And when you have a shot to win the Big 12 and you're 11-7, it just shows you when you have an equal schedule, how much you beat each other up. And as coaches in the Big East, we always say it, a 10-8 Big East team is really, really good because we've played against, we played 4 #1 seeds already twice. I went to overtime with Nova. We lost in a dogfight at Nova, lost a tough one against Xavier at home, and lost a really tough one we've already played 4 #1 seeds already. And all the Big 12 teams have done pretty much the same thing. Texas Tech is a 3 seed, Kansas obviously a 1 seed. I just think it's, you create a really good, tough basketball mindset when you play an equal schedule. And that's one thing I respect about the Big 12 when I watch their games, I watch their teams and their players, is that it's like blood rebounding. It's good old-fashioned hard-nosed basketball, and I respect the Big 12 because I think their coaches and their players play a good hard-nosed basketball, just like the Big East does.
Time for one more question out there. Okay, best of luck tomorrow, Coach. Thank you very
so much.